How's it going, guys? Today I'm covering more EVH licks. This time I'm expanding on a lesson I made a little while ago called 20 minutes of EVH licks. You can find that video up there. I highly recommend you watch it if you have not seen it before. Loads of you wanted a part 2 and this is it. I'm going to be expanding on various different aspects covered in the first lesson, but also some various different sound effects and other Van Halen licks that I have never taught before, sampled from loads of different Van Halen songs, which I absolutely love. In this video I'm going to be changing up my guitars. Some are going to be tuned down half a step, some are going to be in standard tuning. Either way, I'm going to break everything down thoroughly so that you can follow along. Before we get into the content, please like, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it because I'm giving you Van Halen knowledge for free. Time for some cliche Van Halen tapping here. We've got a pattern from Spanish Fly. It's led with a hammer-on the 7th fret of the G. Tap the 12th fret, and then we're going to pull off 7, 5, open, and then repeat. One little tapping tip there, the harder you pull off, the more akin to Eddie it will sound. And once we get to the end of that, just do it when it feels right, we're going to bend up the G 7th fret, a whole tone. Hold that there, and then we're going to tap these notes above. Watch the order closely. Keep in mind I'm starting on the 12th fret. Little lick from Live Without a Net there, so just blew it and played the whole lick there. We're going back into the Spanish Fly tapping pattern. Move over to the D string. Remember we're leading with that note there, 7th fret. Onto the A string there, 7th fret. Then we're going to do a little pedal point lick there where we're going to hammer on to 12. Little yank there on the 3rd fret of the A there. Half step bend. Then hammer on to 11 there because it's a half step bend, so we can get that A note there. Really cool. Alright, Judgment Day, and the simple rule with this is you are tapping over the neck. Despite it looking really dramatic, it's actually rather simple to do. You could practice this even without a guitar, just by drumming it on your lap or something. And the simple pattern here is you are playing the G and A string with those two fingers on your left hand, and the D and B strings with these two fingers on your right hand. And what you've got is this pattern here. It starts with the right hand, then left hand. Well, let me play that for you. I recommend practicing that in one position before moving on to other ones and getting it up to speed. I'm muting the other strings with my palm there, and I'm also doing a little bit of palm muting with this hand here. But don't get too wrapped up in that because you will end up muting the lick you are playing. And what you're going to do next to progress with the lick is you're going to move up 2 frets. So you should have 16 and 14. Up 1 more fret, so it's 15 and 17. Up again, you've got 17 and 19. Then you're up again 2 frets, you should have 19 and 21. And if you want to stick with the album version, you can just use those notes. But a live version that I'm sure people will ask me about in the comments is played like this, where you add more notes in. So I'm going to treat it like normal. That's a lot more complicated, and let me break that down for you. Treat it as normal, as I say. As if you're going to start on the 21st fret of the B string. You then, with your ring finger, you're going to add the 17th fret on the high E. And then with the middle finger, you're going to add the 19th fret on the B there. Then back into it as normal. Then into the solo you would go. Can't Get This Stuff No More is one of my favourite solos ever. Absolutely love it. Tells a story right the way through. And although I played a fair chunk of it in the introduction for fun, the part I'm actually going to be teaching you is this here. And there's loads to be had there. You've got some big bends going on, you've got loads and loads of legato action and whammy bar stuff. What's not to like? And it's very transferable, which I'll explain in a moment. I'm on the B and high E strings, and what's happening here is I'm picking the 10th fret on the B, hammering onto 12, then hammering onto 13. Same on the high E. Then we're going to pull off to 12, then pull off to 10, as if we're going back the way we came. Then what's going to happen here, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. We're going to hammer onto 12 and then back onto 10 again. Well worth trying that out, just a little nice sort of flourishing lick on its own there. Two more notes to follow. We're going to play the B string, 13th fret. You can either pick that or hammer on from nowhere. Once you get more confident at this, you tend to hammer on from nowhere. Then back to 10 on the high E. Then 13, 12 and 10 on the B to finish. That's the whole pattern, and repeat that. You can do that forever if you loop it, but what's going to happen in the case of the solo is we're going to add this little lick on the end here. And I taught something similar to this in the previous episode, and what you've got here is I'm bending up G12, a whole tone, letting it down, pull off to 10. Now what we're going to do is hammer on to 12, but at the same time as that, we're going to just dip the bar down really quickly and bend up at the same time. So it's like you're dipping the bar where you would pick the note. You're timing that whammy bar when you bend up. Really fun lick there, and you can transfer it, as I said before. Since this is profoundly based in the pentatonic position with some extra notes, what you can do is move it around to the appropriate key. Supposing you were playing in the key of G, for example, you can simply add it there. Here's a stretchy lick from Girl Gone Bad, just to play it through slowly. Now, the way this is played in terms of its patterns, it's very, very similar to Can't Get This Stuff No More, except you're playing a bigger stretch. You've got 14, 17 and 20 on the B and high E, picking the first note, then hammering on. Might remind you of Eruption, that little bit there. Now this is where it gets really fiddly. We're hammering on from nowhere onto 20 of the B and then picking 14 of the high E. Watch closely. (20) on the B, 14 on the high E with the pick, hammer back on from nowhere onto 20, pull off to 17, pull off to 14. Repeat that pattern. Real test for that hand once you get into it. I can feel you guys probably have aching hands already from doing that. But it takes a while. Then we're going to end with this little guy here. A beautifully imperfect lick from Eddie. We're bending up 17 on the G, a half step. A little 2-string rake. We're going to play 14 on the B, pick the 17th fret again while it's bent and then let it down. Pull off to 14 on the G, hammer on to 17 of the G, we're then going to play 14 on the B, rake back through to 14 on the G and add vibrato to that note there. Very hard lick to describe, but again, one of those beautifully imperfect licks that makes Eddie's playing so special. First offensive sound of the lesson, the elephant. Really easy to do. You're playing a natural harmonic on the 5th fret of the G, 7th fret on the B, 12 on the high E, and what we're going to do is dip our bar down with our left hand and bring our volume up with our right hand, and you should get something like this. Dead easy. This is something you don't hear every day, a little lick from MeWise Magic, and I'm aware it's played on a guitar with a trans trem, in a different tuning, but I'm making do with standard tuning. However, the chords are, you've got an A major triad, E major triad, same chords, 2 frets down. Same chords, 3 frets down. Same chords, 4 frets down. And B and then E to finish. And just to show you what the technique is, it's played kind of like a banjo roll, but with a pick. And what we're starting off with, it's like an open D string, hammer the chord on, and then what you've got is, I'm picking the G and B string. With palm muting, it gives you that splutter effect, which is the whole appeal of a lick like this. Same goes for the other major triad here. I then pick the G major triad and the D major triad just as they are. Then the same rolling technique applies to the following chords. I'll play it again for you. And it's such a great riff as well. Maybe another day I'll teach that. Another offensive sound for you, the horse effect. Dead easy to do. Firstly, you're going to do a pull off on the open G string by doing this. Then going down on your whammy bar. Once it gets to its lowest point, you're then going to get a natural harmonic by hovering your finger over the 5th fret wire there. A simple Van Halen lick in its own right, but we haven't got to the horsey part yet. The next bit would be playing the 2nd fret on the G. You're going to bend it up a whole tone. This is without a harmonic. Then bringing the bar down in staggered increments until it gets to its lowest point to give it that neigh effect. With the harmonic though, you're aiming for where a middle pickup would be on a Strat. And down you go. If you want to make it even more horsey, like in the demo, you can get 2 harmonics by including the B string. 2nd fret. You get that clashing in overtones. It sounds really, really cool. Try that. This is a fun offensive sound from Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do, and all you're doing is bending up the B string, 19th fret, a full tone, and then fretting underneath it the high E, 17th fret, and all you're doing is picking back and forth between each one as you let the bend down. I'm not going to let you listen to any more of that slow, but you get the idea. A really quick lick from Hot for Teacher, and played slowly, you've got this. What's great about this lick is it's really easy to visualize. We're playing in the key of A minor. It's located basically in the A minor pentatonic position, just with extras. And what's awesome with this is you're tapping the 12th fret the entire time as well, so it's really easy to shift around. And to start the lick off, I'm picking the first note with the finger I'd be tapping with, which is 5 on the high E. Hammer on to 7, hammer on to 8, then tap 12. Pull off from the 12th fret and go back down to the lowest note. Now, the pattern that follows after this is the same for the entire lick, going all the way down, so pay attention here. The first note of the next string is with the ring finger on the 8th fret, then I'd tap 12, so... then pull off going all the way back down. Really simple. One more time now, I'll do it slower. Really cool, Hot for Teacher there. And one thing that's really nice as well is, since I said it is based around the pentatonic position, you can move it into different keys. So let's put it in, say, I don't know, E minor. You don't even have to go all the way down, you can just do the same thing. And you've got another lick to yourself there. Thank you very much for watching this lesson, you guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, as I say. I'll see you again in the next tutorial. Thanks for being here.